as for these other sets, I don't really know what to expect. We could have Game 5s every single set for the rest of these top 8 qualifiers on the elimination side.
Now I'm gonna say it, Sparky. I mean, you mentioned it the first game about how we didn't have the presence of Axe, so I'm gonna do you one better and let you know that I feel right at home with these legend picks right here on the screen right now. And might I also add, with of course some players like Wes being one of the frontier players of Ray, man, this is really starting to become somewhat of a South American pick as well. Teros as well by the looks of things, because man, 40 seconds, 3 stocks down.
Yeah, definitely the double Teros, we don't see as much of it too often anymore. Like, we regularly see 1 Teros, but the fact that we have 2 here means this team means business. They want to find those, like, the cheeky plays on their opponent to get them in orange. I'm surprised we didn't just see C down there floating, ready for the hammer recovery on the ground-pounding RTG. That seems like the perfect spot to be able to hit that. He even spot dodged it a little bit out of fear. I'm not sure if he was looking for the gravity cancel, and then when RTG pulled out of it, he just decided against it. Great save with the neutral air. Unfortunately, RTG is going to fall. Great spot dodge from Tav to get through the GC side signature from C, but Thaiph was there, ready to punish that after the spot dodge was done.
There were so many things there that was crazy. The save, the fact that he even got put down there in the first place because Thaiph and C were able to reverse the offstage situation, and Thaiph getting the hammer Sair to finish it off with the knockout too. What an amazing second stock from Thaiph and C, really earning themselves this lead here as we move into the final one, and they are just, I mean, they're rolling at this point.
Yeah, we're basically seeing the exact same spread that we did when the first stocks were taken, where it's Thaiph who still had 3, and then everybody else had 2, except they got Tav out very quickly this game. There's the stomp sider. The weapon toss goes a little bit high. C is there to cover the wall. Thaiph is there to cover right above the wall, and it's beautiful coverage there from the blue team, covering essentially all the options that RTG had on the way back to the stage.
Now, there was one thing I saw, and I've been looking for an excuse to mention this for a very long time. Whenever Thaiph used that hammer Sair that hit his teammate and also knocked the enemy out, I think it should actually be, yeah, maybe this one? Right here. Yes, that one. There's one blind spot that I have seen with very skilled players and some pro players alike, where players really have this blind spot to where hitting the opponent and your teammate at the same time can be good in a lot of cases. Getting a Sair in that, yeah, it'll be pretty bad for your teammate. You get the knockout though. Even more commonly is whenever your teammate is stuck in an attack and you can use something that doesn't have variable force to get out of it. For example, if your teammate is getting hit by, let's say, a spear sidelight, you can use maybe a sword sidelight in the very last moment. Even though you're hitting your teammate, you're saving him from getting stuck in a team combo.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of those things where you have that like split-second decision moment, and there's a lot of like right answers, and then usually there's like a handful of best answers. It's like hitting your teammate with something that has like high variable force. That can sometimes be the right answer, but the best answer is like a weapon toss, as we saw like earlier today from Skelger specifically, was using a lot of weapon tosses, which in that moment was like the best answer, even though there were other right answers for him to choose from.
Yeah, and then again, I mean, we keep seeing those small things, players getting better and better at them as the meta continues to evolve. We are moving into the second game. C and Thaiph able to close out the first one. Let's see if they're able to do the same with the second. Thaiph, oh, they're doing the full-on team combo, unarmed and hammer.
It looks like they were trying to do it again, of getting both stocks right out of this game very early on. This time C has hardly taken any damage whatsoever, so they're in an even better spot than they were at the beginning of last game, and obviously last game they ended up winning regardless. So this puts them in an even better spot. They might take this game as well. We are still early on in it. C, pushing off stage, does get disarmed. He's able to grab the axe pretty quickly, and we're back to double axes on this double Teros team.
Yeah, and I mean, the damage is just brutal. RTG, though, he goes for the full-on commitment. Very, very nice. Okay.
He saw that one coming. Maybe not necessarily a weapon toss, but he saw something coming, and he knew exactly when it was going to happen. Fantastic spot dodge there.
Looking at Tavares now. Tavares doing a good job at separating Thaiph and C right now, but as you do so, you also give them the opportunity to go for the 1v1s, and just so happens that these guys, they're doing quite well in them.
I'm gonna need a Portuguese speaker, although maybe Sora can tell us. What is Tavares a number or a word, like an actual word that has meaning, or is it just a name? Because I don't know that much about Russian, but like Tavares in Russian is like comrade. So I wonder. I'm just doing pattern recognition.
Well, we will have word on that in just a moment. I'm actually more than anything just surprised that you know what that word, what that Russian word is. We do have confirmation that it does not have any meaning. It's just a name, and it is a very cool name at that too. 4 stocks against 2. Tavares has a mountain to climb right now. We see C going for that GC end light with the axe. We all know what you're trying to do. You're trying to hit him on the funny angle. Tavares is not letting it happen.
Dude, RTG is already taken out of this game from having that amazing spot dodge and punish to get the KO on the bottom right side to the first one being taken out of this game. The red team here is struggling against C and Thaiph. They've done such a good job. They have 2 heavy weapons on the field. It really doesn't matter what weapon Tavares has in his hands. It's going to be a heavy weapon for him.
I'll try to get the GC D-Light in, but Thaiph and C, they're just all over the place. GC and Sig, Thaiph playing this safely, waiting for his teammate to get back up, and you see exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get this sandwich combo set up. C trying to go for the unarmed offstage too. There it is.
And that time, at the end of that game, one of the members of Blue Team was completely fresh on that final stock. We'll see it here in the replay, which one. I believe it was C. I can't remember exactly between the 2. But yeah, an even more dominant game than the previous one. I honestly expect the next game to be even more dominant than the previous 2. The way these double Tavares players are playing, it's really tough to deal with.
We are moving into what is going to be our match point game here. Absolutely no pause whatsoever between the games. I mentioned in the EU portion that it's really nice to see whenever players are taking a moment to calm themselves down, take a couple of deep breaths between the game. These guys, they're fueled by adrenaline. They don't care, man. Keep it coming.
And my question is, in this fueled by adrenaline move, is this a salty pick from Tavares coming out? Is this the salty Taro swap saying like, oh yeah, this is an easy legend, you can do it, I can do it? I've definitely had my share of that in ranked, and it never goes well for me, especially playing against someone who's more of a specialist than I am if we're looking at like Thaiph and C here.
See, this is the thing, and I used to think this a lot of times too, that we're seeing these quote-unquote soul picks, but then I realized these guys are professionals and there's money on the line, so usually there's a pretty damn good reason.
Hey, he's making it work so far, showing obviously he knows how the D-Sig works.
Okay.
I mean that in a real way, knowing which way it swings first and then second. RTG over on the edge, see if C can clean him up here.
The proficiency of GC D-Light between all of these Hammer players, honestly, at this point, but Tavares as well, hitting it multiple times so far in what is basically, yeah, it's his first stock. It's so crisp.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I didn't happen to catch what level Tavares has on this Taros compared to the other Taroses in the lobby.
All right. Gets a sidelight into recovery. Thaiph taking quite a beating off of that, and I mean, they're winning. It's working. Call this pick whatever you will, but they are in the lead.
Yeah, I actually really like the sidelight into the backdash into the jump recovery, just kind of messing with the timing of that. If the opponent like sees the neutral air isn't coming, and then maybe expects something else to happen, so they spot dodge, they burn their dodge, all of a sudden the recovery is coming at them, and they get hit by that. That was a beautiful option.
D-Light there coming out, able to get the D-Lights there off the landing too. Tavares, we all know what you're looking for, but they won't allow them to connect it. Now RTG trying to edge guard for just a little bit. He gets that knockout with a second one soon to follow. He catches the dodge, and just like that, they put themselves on the board.
Splitting the KOs right down the middle, and then Tavares did 621. So this was a great swap, a fantastic swap. Level 66 on that Taros, so actually higher than C on the other side, who only has a level 58 Taros. So yeah, fantastic swap. I'm a little bit surprised that it took like 2 games to see this Taros come out.
Yeah, to be honest, especially considering how prevalent it is in the meta right now. But I am happy we did finally get to see it. It is definitely serving Tavares quite well so far, and we will be moving into our 4th game here very shortly. There are, no surprise, we're having no legend swap here across the board.
And we're going back to Demon Island yet again. We saw a lot of Fortress of Lions earlier today in Europe, but it seems like South America wants to stick it here into the Demon Island.
All right, yeah, they definitely they have definitely been sticking to this Demon Island quite hard so far. Which it looks like we might be having some technical
lag
difficulties.
coming out. The classic symbol in a South American game, if you see like a gravity cancel taunt, you know what that means. It means they're having lag issues, and of course, pretty much everybody, if not almost everyone, is always going to be a good sport after that. It seems like we're going back to the regular gameplay here. We're back to your regularly scheduled programming after that momentary break.
All right, and still we're looking quite even across the board. RTG looking quite dangerously far off to the left-hand side though, but Tavares is trying to dish back that pain just as quickly.
There's a side stick from RTG. Thaiph putting pressure onto Tavares on the right
one.
side.
Oh.
Even went to go in with the side stick towards RTG, but RTG was staying too far away from that for it to make contact. And after that, they ended up getting the KO onto Thaiph.
See that hammer share right there? I know what you're thinking. Polymoto, that's really, really simple. It's not really anything to be that astonished by. It's quite a basic follow-up. The thing is that they never miss them. They're hitting every single follow-up. I mean, not every single one, but 90% of them. I could confidently say they're hitting 90% of the follow-ups at this point. And when you have this fast-paced neutral, this is just, you can get knocked out from such a small amount of hits.
And C is the one getting knocked out here. He's the first one to find himself on final stock. RTG on the other side isn't anywhere near that. Tav is even further away from that, still on his first stock. This Taro swap is working miracles for this team. The stomp into the side air onto Thaiph, see if he gets over towards the edge. The backup just a little bit away. I think Tavares didn't expect that D-Light at max range to make contact, so he did D-Light into nothing. The little cap classic.
Gets the Sair weapon throw into D-Light. Thaiph going for weapon throw true combos at this point. Is going to get knocked out quite promptly. Now C left alone on the board for but a moment. Thaiph gets back up, but he gets stuck in a team combo all the way down into yellow already. RTG and Tavares, they're looking to take this one to game 5.
Tav floating with the axe, now in the middle between both members of the blue team. C actually goes instantly over to the edge. I don't know if he was like expecting a follow-up there or to be the follow-up off of Thaiph. Like Thaiph sends him over to the corner, out comes like a hammer recovery or anything like that. But now C is out of the game. Maybe he was playing defensively. Thaiph stuck in the 1v2. There's the inlight, side air follow-up. Not even a problem whatsoever for this red team.
90%. 90% follow-up rate. There you go. Tavares and RTG putting the Wushang Teros comp into good use as we are going into game 5 here. It does look like we're going to have a very a very quick disconnect as we are working out any potential technical difficulties that we might be having. But man, you called it 3-0 into a best out of 5.
I did.
Congratulations.
This is a great set here, and it's really coming off the back of this swap over to the Roman Reigns, over to the Taros. That's allowed this red team for the potential reverse 3-0 here after going down 0-2 to this double Taros from Thaiph and Tavares. I mean, Thaiph and C.
All right, and we're seeing a pick that I'm very excited about, Sparky.
Yeah, tell me what you're excited about this.
We're seeing the Bodvar come out. The reason, to be completely honest, I'm just excited about this pick categorically. I think Bodvar has the potential to have a second coming in terms of Brawlhalla Esports, right? Bodvar has been on, I want to say, a very slow rise back up to the top, and I know at this point I'm making some very large claims, but I do think he's amazing, and whenever I see one in competitive play, I get a little bit happy.
I 100% agree. I think he's definitely a sleeper pick right now.
Okay,
That's not the character's
dude.
fault, I swear. That's not because of the character. That's because the red team went sicko mode onto C, taking him out within like 8 seconds. Yet another side air follow-up from Tavares to get the KO off of RTG's setup.
I'm not laughing because he got knocked out. I'm laughing because you immediately went to defensive mode on Bodvar.
Yep, it has nothing to do with
Wow.
the legend. I think you're exactly right. I think Bodvar is a sleeper pick right now. Like, people are kind of getting back to the hammer grind. There's the side sig also hitting C yet again, sending him over to the edge. Dude, is he gonna be knocked out of the game in a minute and a half or less?
1 stock remaining, and just like that, 50 seconds into the game, and he's gonna have to play carefully for the rest of it.
D-Sig, do the sword D-Sig. You can change the game. You can change the world with the Bodvar sword D-Sig.
This is a statement. We cannot say that Bodvar is amazing and then this happens. See, the world is watching. The Metacritics are watching.
He's just having to play back. He's having to play defensively. He's forcing Thaiph to play. Okay, there's the right into the recovery, but he also takes out Thaiph. They can't afford that.
If you want to become the greatest, some sacrifices might need to be made, Sparky. Some risks has to be taken. See, able to swoop in there with a side light. RTG and Tavares, I mean, at this point, they're looking to just take some of these even trades, keep the game simple, stick to your bread and butter combos, and you're gonna come out on top.
Okay, C is just, he keeps going back over to the wall, and RTG just has corner control. Meanwhile, Thaiph, he put the works on Tavares, and brother, somehow we are even in stocks at this point. Like, C has 70, maybe 80 damage on this stock, so he still has to be careful. Ooh, Tavares putting work on the Thaiph, completely splitting him over from his teammate. Thaiph has to do a lot of work here. Oh, he's not able to get the side air follow-up that time off of SEA, off of C's neutral light on the sword. This is going to be tough. He at least had the soft platform, but the red team pushed onto him.
It is suspiciously even at this point. Thaiph and C doing a really good job at slowly but surely closing in on this lead. Most definitely C doing a really good job at playing this safely while still being useful.
Oh, he's over on the corner. That just scares me.
Oh,
especially with the Wushong in the game.
That hammer combo is insane. C able to get back up. He gets hit by the stomps there though, and that's going to be the knockout. Tavares sets up a quick juggle. RTG isn't able to swoop in there. Yoink him with an air.
Okay, Tavares is just going to do it on his own.
Right, edge guard situation. D signature is going to connect, and that is going to be the end of the set.
That was huge. What a comeback from RTG and Tavares. Although I gotta give props to Thaiph and C, not only for like winning the first 2 games in the set, but like making that last game a real game after a disastrous beginning, specifically for C, getting knocked down twice.